In ancient times, floods posed a great threat to humanity. At that time, vegetation was rampant and rivers were blocked. With continuous heavy rains, water disasters followed. The roaring flood. Peaks rushed down, sweeping downstream, breaking through dikes, destroying houses, and submerging crops. People had nowhere to escape, many drowned. After the flood peaks, it was a vast expanse of white everywhere. People who had escaped to high ground anxiously waited for the flood to recede. After the flood subsided, the fields were barren, and nothing was harvested. What will people eat? After the flood, famine followed. Alas, in which year did not encounter a flood and drought, and people were not starving everywhere. People would never surrender to natural disasters, and they fought against floods. In the 23rd century BC, a grand flood control war broke out. At that time, the Emperor Yao appointed Gun to lead the people to govern the flood. Gun used the old method of water comes and soil covers, and led the people to repair dikes and build dikes. However, this method was not very effective. The flood rushed down like a wild horse and was unstoppable. Dikes could not control it, and instead, it broke them down. Gun couldn't think of a better way, and led the people to continue building dikes. However, the floods continued in those years, and the hard work was wasted. Gun worked hard for 9 years, but the floods in the Central Plains continued. Emperor Yao saw that Gun had failed in the flood control, and ordered him to be executed. Gun's son Yu then inherited his father's work and continued to govern the flood. His father's failure made Yu realize that the traditional methods of building dikes and relying solely on physical barriers were not enough to effectively control the floods. He realized that a more comprehensive approach was needed, one that would not only involve building dikes, but also improving the management of rivers, digging canals, and regulating the flow of water. Yu led the people to build canals and dredge river channels to prevent water from overflowing and causing flooding. He also implemented a system of rotation farming to allow the land time to recover and prevent soil erosion. He also encouraged the people to plant trees and vegetation along the banks of rivers to help stabilize the soil and prevent erosion. Through these efforts, he was able to successfully control the floods and bring prosperity to the people. He was hailed as a hero, and his methods became the foundation of China's flood control system. His legacy lives on through the ages, and the Chinese people continue to use his methods to prevent and control floods and ensure the safety and well-being of their communities. Yu's method of flood control was not only limited to physical infrastructure and water management, but also emphasized on the importance of education and awareness. He initiated a system of educating the people about the causes of floods, the importance of maintaining the infrastructure, and the role of every individual in preventing and mitigating the damage caused by floods. He also set up a system of early warning and evacuation to ensure the safety of the people during floods. Hugh's method of flood control not only brought peace and prosperity to the people, but also helped in the development of agriculture and the economy. With the successful control of floods, the people were able to cultivate crops and grow food, which led to a rise in population and a better standard of living. In conclusion, Hugh's method of flood control is an excellent example of how a comprehensive approach to problem solving can lead to success. It involved not only physical infrastructure, but also education, awareness, and the active participation of the people. It continues to be an inspiration and a guide for modern flood control efforts around the world.